Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to Dr. Al-Amin and all my friends. Today, Qiong and I will share the findings of our first assignment. Our task is to define the dynamics and characteristics of an organization. Hope you all can pay attention because at the end of the class there will be a short and simple quiz. Definition of dynamic. What is dynamic? As we learned last week with Dr. Al-Amin, dynamic are the forces or properties which stimulate growth, development, or change within a system or process. It is also a process of ongoing changes and it involves developmental direction, process of learning, process of problem solving, and also communication process and need. Dynamic capabilities are regarded as necessary for organizations to adapt and renew themselves. TIS 1997 states that dynamic capabilities is firm's ability to integrate, build, and reconfigure internal and external competences to address rapidly changing environments. Definition of organization. Mooney and Rayleigh states that organization is the form of every human association for the attainment of common purpose. Lewis and Allen states that organization is a process of identifying or grouping the work to accomplish common objective. Characteristic of an organization. There are many scholars and researchers who study the characteristic of organization, but we only focus on 4 according to the evolution of organization by Heath 1995. The bureaucratic organization, Max Weber 1947. Max Weber is a German socialist who defines that bureaucratic as a highly structured, formalized, and also an impersonal organization. There are 6 bureaucratic characteristics, that is, task specialization, selection and promotion, impersonal, organization hierarchy, rules and regulation, and career orientation. The Performance-Based Organization by Peter Drucker 1964. Peter Drucker was one of the most widely known and influential thinkers on management. He believes that organization must focus on performance. The first requirement for an organization to remain healthy is to adhere to strict standards of performance. Performance is the ability to consistently deliver results across a variety of long-term tasks. Peter Drucker also believed that leaders need to embrace the spirit of performance by displaying high levels of moral and ethical integrity in their actions, focusing on results, empowering employees, and ultimately serving the common good.
Hello everyone, this is Qiong. Next, let's take a look at Peter Singe's point of view. He suggested that learning organization required 5 key words. First, system thinking. Interdependence among people and processes working together as a whole team. Second, personal mastery. Individual commitment to the process of learning and developing. Third, team learning, sharing knowledge within a team, so all members become more knowledgeable. Fourth, mental models, changing values and think patterns over time to better adapt. The last one, shared vision. An organization needs a strong common vision and belief. Next, we look at 7 dimensions of learning organization from Waskin and Marsick. In a nutshell, it's continuous learning, inquiry and dialogue, team learning, embedded system, empowerment, system connection, and strategic leadership. To evaluate the development of learning in an organization is very important. The practice of every dimension is measured among all members at all levels. Now, we would like to share a video with you.
A learning organization encourages personal mastery and cultivates open feedback to see problems and opportunities on all levels. Some argue that learning organizations attract and retain more talents. Others say that there is a competitive advantage for an organization whose people learn faster than the people of other organizations. Here are 6 characteristics most have in common. They cherish an open culture. Learning organizations encourage everyone to share information admit to mistakes, and practice giving and taking constructive criticism. Once the problem is found, they try to understand its root cause and fix it. To achieve such a culture, walls are removed, information is shared, and leaders show their human sides. They design and implement feedback loops. Some establish 360-degree surveys in which people assess themselves, their peers, and their bosses. Employees at five-star hotels ask guests for their opinions. Top schools may videotape teachers so they can later study themselves. Some even make feedback a team effort. Before any new project, they all get together to kick things off. After the project, they meet again to share and reflect on what has happened. They promote personal mastery. Employees try to achieve personal mastery in their fields. Once they become experts, they feel proud of their work, they are motivated intrinsically, and they can create positive change wherever they are. For example, a cleaner might come up with an idea on how to save water, and an accountant on how to save bank fees. The job of the boss is to connect all experts and give directions. They plan for intelligent fast failure. When they build something new, they don't spend time to make assumptions on paper. Instead, they create what's called minimum viable product, a simple prototype with only the core functions. This is then presented to users as early as possible to test what they think. Because it is imperfect, even friends give their honest opinions. The goal? Fail fast, but collect intelligent information so you can improve while going forward. They steal best practices. Picasso apparently said that good artists borrow, great artists steal. Learning organizations study others, steal best practices, and then implement them fast. The newspaper The Economist took advice from George Orwell. Its editors never use jargon if everyday English works. Printing manufacturers stole the razor and blades business model from Gillette, selling printers cheap but ink expensive. They cultivate a common vision. A learning organization prospers when all members share a common vision. That way, employees can understand the importance of their role, connect the dots, and develop systems thinking. When goals are clear, regulations can be reduced and people can create their own personal benchmarks of success. This reduces bureaucracy, authority, and corruption. Salesman and author Zig Ziglar once wrote, "The only thing worse than training people and having them leave is not training them and having them stay." At a learning organization, education happens as a side product of working together, as everybody learns from each other to adapt to whatever the future might bring. If you like our videos and want to support our channel, visit us at patreon.com/sprouts and see if you want to donate just $1. With your support, we plan to create many more minute videos about learning and education.
I will take the development history of Peking University as an example to analyze a question: what extent the school meet the characteristics of the organization. Peking University is located in Beijing, the capital of China, and is one of the most famous universities. First of all, let's take a look at the Peking University at the beginning of its establishment. That is, the Imperial University of Peking. Its name in China is Jingshi Daxuetang. On July 3, 1898, Imperial University of Peking was officially established. At that time, Imperial University of Peking was not only the highest institution of higher education in China, but also the highest education administrative organ in China, governing all schools in all provinces across the country. That is to say, at that time, the Imperial University of Peking was both a university and the Ministry of Education. The first image shows the main entrance of the Imperial University of Peking in 1898. Imperial University of Peking is the first national comprehensive university in modern China. Chinese students are well known that the imperial examination system was abolished in 1905. During the period from 1898 to 1905, the education system at that time became a dual-track system. Students could continue to take the imperial examinations or choose the Western education method. The second picture shows a group photo of the faculty and staff of the Imperial University of Peking in 1900. On May 3, 1912, the Imperial University of Peking was approved to be renamed Peking University, and Yan Fu became the first president of Peking University. On July 29, the British Education Conference announced the recognition of Peking University and its attached the translation library as a university. The Imperial University of Peking has the characteristics of a bureaucratic organization since its establishment. Teacher work and student work in this school are broken down into routine and well-defined. This school embodies the integration of politics and education, unified application of rulers and controls, position organized in a hierarchy with clear chain of command. Employees of this school are selected based on their expertise. Next, we will continue to look at the follow-up development of Peking University. Peking University has many excellent managers. Today, I will mainly introduce the main changes of Peking University during the tenure of Cai Yuanpei and Hu Shi. Cai Yuanpei implemented the system of professors running the school and democratic management at Peking University. In the autumn of 1920, Peking University officially began to enroll female students. After 1946, during the tenure of President Hu Shi, 3 new colleges of medicine, engineering, and agriculture were established at Peking University, with a total of 6 colleges, 33 departments, and 2 specialized courses. After 1976, Peking University gradually implemented the reform of the 3-level management system of the school, college, and department, and established a number of colleges such as the School of Economics. In October 1996 and May 1998, the Chinese government successfully launched the 211 project and the 985 project to fund Peking University to build a world-class university. After 2000, Peking University has become a comprehensive university with natural sciences, humanities, social sciences, medicine, and new engineering. Peking University has introduced the credit system of free course selection for undergraduates to the whole school, and has built a general elective course system with more than 300 courses. The third picture is the Peking University Gymnasium, the table tennis hall for the 2008 Beijing Olympics. The first picture is about school buildings. The last one is the library of Peking University. From development and change of Peking University, we can get the conclusion that schools meet the characteristics of the learning organization. The school has a concept and a mechanism of lifelong learning. The management at all levels of the school requires systematic thinking. School learning occurs not only at the individual, but also at the group and organizational level. The school has a variety of learning methods, using various methods to create knowledge, acquire knowledge, and transform knowledge. Schools must continue to learn continuously, innovate and develop with the ever-changing environment, and improve their adaptability. This picture is a screenshot of the search page of CNKI. the largest full-text academic information website with a monopoly status in China. I used to search for related terms such as learning organizations and school organizations as keywords. It is found that most scholars today believe that schools are learning organizations. Yang Shuoying, a professor at National Taiwan University, believes that a learning organization is an extraordinary organizational model that is more suitable for human nature. A community is formed by a great learning group. It has lofty and correct core values, beliefs, and missions, and has strong vitality.
Education Blueprint 2013-2025. In October 2011, the Ministry of Education launched a comprehensive review of the education system in Malaysia in order to develop a new national education blueprint. This blueprint offers a vision of education system and students that Malaysia both needs and deserve, and suggests 11 strategic and operational shifts that would be required to achieve the vision. For your information, the education system has made tremendous progress since 1957. At the time of independence, over half of population had no formal schooling, while only 6% of Malaysian children had been educated to secondary level and a paltry 1% to the post-secondary level. 5.5 decades later, access to education has been transformed beyond recognition. In order to properly address the needs of all Malaysians and to prepare the nation to perform at an international level, it is important to first envision what a highly successful education system must accomplish, particularly in the Malaysian context. There are 5 outcomes that this blueprint aspires to for the Malaysian education systems as a whole: access, quality, equity, unity, and efficiency. The national education philosophy, the blueprint comes out with 6 key attributes needed by every student to be globally competitive. Every student will have knowledge, thinking skills, leadership skills, bilingual proficiency, ethics and spiritual and national identity. Therefore, the ministry has identified 11 shifts that will need to occur to deliver the step change in outcomes envisioned by all Malaysians. Each shift will address at least one of the 5 system outcomes of access, quality, equity, unity, and efficiency, with quality as the common underlying focus across all shifts, due to the fact that this is the dimension which requires the most urgent attention. As you can see in the table, 11 shifts to transform the system is: provide equal access to quality education of an international standard, ensure every child is proficient in Bahasa Malaysia and English language, develop values-driven Malaysians, transform teaching into the profession of choice, ensure high-performing school leaders in every school, empower JPNs, PPDs, and schools to customize solutions based on need, leverage ICT to scale up quality learning across Malaysia, transform ministry delivery capabilities and capacity, partner with parents, community, and private sector at scales, maximize student outcomes for every ringgit, and the last one is increase transparency for direct public accountability. But today's session, we will share about 4 shifts only. It is shift 4, 5, 6, and 8. Shift 4. Transform teaching into the profession of choice. Research shows that teacher quality is the most significant school-based factor in determining student outcomes. Therefore, only the best candidates will be recruited as teachers. This means that the ministry will enforce entry standards to ensure that 100% of every teacher training intake will meet the minimum academic requirement. Besides that, teachers also will receive greater support to help them achieve their full potential. When they enter the profession, teachers will develop an individualized CPD program. CPD means continuous professional development with their supervisors. By enhancing this, teacher will be a prestigious elite profession. that only recruits from the top 30% of graduates in the country. Teachers also will receive the best training possible from the time they enter their teacher training programs through the point of retirement. Shift 5. Ensure high-performing school leaders in every school. The quality of school leaders is the second biggest school-based factor in determining student outcomes. Therefore, every principal is required to complete the National Professional Qualification for Educational Leaders (NPQL) at Institute Amiduddin Baki (IAB) before they can be appointed. In doing so, the average age of a principal is expected to drop, allowing principals to serve for longer periods in each school and in the system as a whole. Just like the teachers, the principal also will receive greater support to help them achieve their full potential and will therefore be held more accountable for the delivery of higher student outcomes. Shift 6. Empower JPNs, PPDs and schools to customize solutions based on needs. For your informational, JPN means State Education Office and PPD means District Education Office. The empowerment allows greater school-based management and autonomy for schools that meet a minimum performance criteria. All schools will be responsible for operational decision-making in terms of budget allocation and curriculum implementation. For example, principal will have full authority over how they spend the student per capita grant and how they design the school timetable. Shift 8. Transform ministry delivery capabilities and capacity. Why it is needed? It is because issues identified include overlaps in the responsibilities of the federal, state and district levels. Therefore, the PPD in particular has been identified by the ministry as a key point in the education delivery change. PPD will provide direct support to school leaders and proactively manage school performance to ensure student outcomes improve. If the shift is success, then the transformed ministry will have stronger leaders at every level, new processes and structures, and a culture of high performance. That's all for now. Before we end the session, I would like to share you a quote from D. Hawk. An organization, no matter how well designed, is only as good as the people who live and work in it. Thank you. And before that, we have provide link for all of you to answer our multiple choice quiz. Do enjoy.